Hi guys, my name is Ramon, back again for another video. This time I'll be doing a long-term review of my personal bike, the Elves Eglath size 50. I have done about 25,000 kilometers on this bike, so I do think I have earned the right to review this bike the best way possible. We will be talking about geometry, be talking about performance, we'll be talking about comfort, we'll be talking about price and weight, and we'll be talking about maintenance. We'll be talking about my personal experience with this bike. It is a bike that I purchased with my own money, so there'll be full transparency here. I don't get sponsored by Elves by no means, so yeah, I'll be talking about the things that I like, the things that I don't like about this bike. So yeah, hang around guys, this is a very good review for all the Elves guys that are thinking, or people that are thinking of switching over to a Chinese brand. My personal opinion about the mainstream brands compared to the Chinese carbon fiber Elves bike. So hang around, we'll be talking about. So we're gonna kick things off first by talking about the geometry of this bike, right? This particular model, the Eglath, it's the mid-range model between the Super Aero, which is the Falaf Evo, and then you've got the climber one, which is the Vinyar. Those two bikes, right, they are super aero and one is super light for climbing. And obviously the Eglath is your all-rounder bike. So the geometry of this bike is way more relaxed than the actual Falaf Evo, which is a super aero bike. But this bike gives you the same stiffness as well. I like sprinting, and I have managed to get a few good results with this bike by sprinting, out sprinting some big brands. It's really powerful, guys. So this bike does not let you down when it comes to stiffness and actually transferring the power from when you're pushing down the pedals. But obviously, being an all-rounder, also this bike climbs really well. I am a guy that enjoys a bit of a hill. I am not a climber myself. I'm not a super big guy, and I'm not a super light guy. I walk around 71, 72 kg, depending on the race I have coming up. Some races I do diet a little bit, where it requires a little bit of climbing. But yeah, but that's just me personally speaking about it. Yeah, so this bike is an all-rounder. The geometry, like I said, it's kind of relaxed. It's a very good bike. You do feel like you do not lose any speed, because it's a mid-range bike in between the aero and the super light bike. So it is a bike that it is really good if you're looking for performance, comfort, right? But if you're a guy that just wants to smash, get all the KOMs on the flat roads and just want to go fast, the Falaf Evo, it is the best option, because that bike is just super aero. It just goes like a missile, right? But this bike is also really good. So that's me just covering the geometry of this bike. For some of you that don't know, the geometry of this bike, it mimics the I think is the Scott foil, if I'm not wrong, right? And yeah, so it's an all-rounder bike. It's a really good bike. Yeah, I'm super happy with it at the moment, right? So yes, we talked about geometry, so now we're gonna move on to performance. Right guys, I'm pretty excited to be making this announcement. This video is proudly sponsored by offroadsegway.com. They are a company that do off-road segways, aided sports machines, and they're pretty cool company. I'll show you what they're on about. If you just follow me, I'll show you. So if you just go to www.offroadsegway.com, elves.com. Type down Google, and obviously it will bring you to their main page. And over here you can have a look what they're on about. They have got like an adventure thing, you know, golf buggies, aided transports, and all that kind of stuff. If I flick through here, you can have a look at their website. They've got loads going on in there, guys. You can click in about us, the contact details, everything is in there. There's a little video here, I'll play that for you. Yeah, and this is the stuff they do. They have got some of the feedbacks over here. You can always see brilliant communication, you know, the staff are good. This is some of the stuff they do, the online order. You can check them out. Give them a shout if you are interested in purchasing one of these items. Yeah, so I will also leave a link below for their Instagram page, which will show up here. You can also flick through, see what they're on about, give them a follow, give them a like on some of the items. Do not hesitate to contact them and help them out, to be honest. Yeah. Right, guys, talking about performance now, right? Like I said, I've cycled with this bike for over 25,000 kilometers. So I have been around really good guys, fast guys that are like, you know, cat 1, 2, you know, proper really good guys, and this bike does not let you down, right? Don't be thinking if you go and purchase a Chinese frame, especially an Elves, that the bike is gonna let you down somehow due to being a Chinese frame, and that is not the case, right? Performance wise, I participate at the Ride London Grand Fondo, which had about 25,000 people that entered that Grand Fondo, and I came 18th overall out of 25,000 people, and I was there in the first group. And then there was all sorts of bikes. There was all bikes that you can possibly think of, bikes that I could easily say they were within the 15,000 to 16,000 pounds bike. So performance wise, this bike, it's amazing, right? I participate also at the Tour of Cambridgeshire at my age group, and I was able to get a podium on that particular race. So I came third at the Tour of Cambridgeshire. Hopefully you get to see some footages here. Yes, so yeah, I did it, guys. So with this bike, so like I said, don't you think that buying this bike you're gonna have a less performance than some of the higher end brands? Not at all. It is a bike that performance wise, I am going head to head with these big brands, and I don't feel like the bike itself it's letting me down. Obviously you can't win them all, but I would not blame the bike because I know I have done great achievements with this bike. So yeah, so we covered now performance. We move on now to comfort. Yes, guys, talking about comfort, yeah, and this is one of the things that where this bike, it's outstanding when it comes to comfort. Yeah, this bike to me, it just feels like you just want to be sat on it the whole day, right? I start feeling the difference, right? The comfort of this bike from going from my BMC time machine. I had a BMC time machine, and I made the decision to change over to an Elves bike because I needed a more current 2021, right? My BMC was a 2017 model, so I just felt like getting a more new bike, fully integrated, and all the new aspect that you would see on a new generation bike this bike has. And not just saying that myself, I have allowed few of my friends and some of these guys, they own like mainstream brand bikes, like, you know, Pinarello, Canyon, Trek, and they've had reading this bike as I've allowed them to ride the bike to see what it feels like, and the first thing they said, the initial thing they've said, it was, oh my god, this bike is so comfortable. So it's unreal. Like myself, I when I ride on this bike on these bumpy roads, lumpy, you know, when the asphalt is not perfectly smooth, the bike just goes through these lumpy, bumpy roads. It's just like, it's almost it just eats all the deform of the asphalt, so it doesn't come back to your body, you know, it just goes through. It's almost like, you know, the bike has a full suspension system. It's weird, right? There's also a famous YouTuber on I think it's GC Performance. He's got the Super Aero one. I think he has the Elves Falaf Evo, and he initial response to how the bike feels, it was comfort. He said, oh my god, this is the most comfortable bike he has ever ridden. So it is huge, this bike comfort. I don't know what else done to it, but the bike just feels amazing. So yeah, so my personal experience with comfort with this bike is just like incredible. The bike doesn't creak, it doesn't, you know, it just feels solid and really stable, even going through bumpy roads. You know, I mean, you don't hear all of these rattling sounds from, I don't know, bottle cage, mount, or shifters, or the bike itself. It just goes through as if it's just riding on a smooth surface. It's just crazy. Yeah, so that's my take on comfort. So now we're gonna talk about price and weight, right? Let's talk about price, guys. So the complete build of this bike, it was just short of £3,000 for myself, right? The frame itself, I got it for around £900 when it came out. I contacted Elves direct. Their communication is great. I spoke to them about what I wanted to do, my intention were, and they happily helped me even to choose the correct frame size for myself. So it was all good. So the price, like I said, I spent about 1,200 on the wheels, another 800 on the group set. I've been running the Ultegra R8000 mechanical group set with hydraulic brakes. I've got the Hunt wheels, aerodynamics. These are the 54 mils. They were around £1,200. The frame, like I said, I think it was £800 to £900. So I was able to put a complete bike that, like I said, it is a high-end bike in my eyes. If you just take away the brand itself, it is a high-end bike, right? It is up there with the mainstream bikes, right? But when you stick a logo on it, when you stick a brand onto a bike, the price tend to go up 3 times or 4 times more. But the bike, it's amazing for what you pay for, guys. It's just, you know, there's no comparison. I don't think I'm not gonna say never, but I don't think I will for some time be buying a mainstream brand bike. I'm already looking at getting some electronic group sets for this bike and upgrading this bike instead of getting a new mainstream brand. And this bike, with this build itself, it's about 7.4 to 7.6 kilos, right? So it is a very light bike. So it's great. So yeah, that's price and weight covered, guys. Now we're gonna talk about durability, right? And durability for some people, it is a huge thing, right? Because when you do purchase a bike, you don't want to be going from 1 frame, 2 frames, 3 frames within a space of 1 or 2, 3 years, right? You want something that it is gonna be reliable, that it is gonna last, that it is gonna do what it's supposed to do, right? Nobody buys a bike thinking, oh, it's only gonna last me a year. But like I said, I've done 25,000 K on this bike, and I've only had it for just a little over a year. So the bike has seen some usage, right? I have used this bike pretty much everywhere, right? I took this bike to Italy, Portugal, Lake District. I did the Fredwitton challenge on this bike. So this bike has been pretty much everywhere. And me personally, being a cyclist, I will admit I have crashed a few times on this bike, but the bike hasn't actually, how can I say, it hasn't showed any weakness, or the bike hasn't weakened due to doing all of this mileage, kilometers, or these times that I have fell down on this bike. Obviously there are some cosmetic scratches that you do get from road debris and stuff like that, you know, and that obviously hits the paint, right? And then obviously it chips the paints a little bit, so that is something that you may want to consider. Elves as well, if you guys are watching, obviously the paint on the bike, it's excellent, but obviously I have experienced very little chips from road debris. Maybe if they put some extra coating on it, it would have helped keep that paint on the bike a little longer. But when it comes to durability, the bike has been amazing. You know what I mean, it still works as from the first time I bought it, to be honest. No, it hasn't let me down once, to be honest. So durability, it's covered. So yes, and to wrap it up, we're gonna talk about personal experience, right? Which to me, it's the big one. Personal experience on the bike, it's the big one, right? But like I said, I've ridden this bike in multiple road surface. I've done multiple types of events, right? Up here I'm gonna put some clips and videos of the races that I've done. I've raced cut 1, 2, 3 with this bike. I've raced creeks, you know. I've like I said, I've done Grand Fondos with it, and all of these races that I've done, all of the Grand Fondos, all the creek races that I've been to, the bike itself has not let me down once, and I can assure you that all of my results, you can see it here, right? You know, it's genuine. Once I get the bike set up and I go to a race, I am mind free that the bike is not gonna let me down. At least that's the best that I can say. It's just like, okay, my bike is ready, all I have to do make myself ready. So I don't ever think like, oh, I've got a Chinese brand, it is gonna break down, something's gonna happen. No, totally the opposite. This bike has put so much confidence on me that I don't even think about that. You know, it's a really good bike. So my personal experience with the bike, all I can say, it's been great. The guys from Elves, their communication is great. I talk to them all the time. They've got a very nice Instagram page, you know, you guys can check them out. The Elves Bike UK, the guys up there, they fully support you. They cheer you on and all that kind of stuff. And then for me, that I'm a regular cyclist, right, who's trying to get to Cat 2 this year, it means a lot, guys. You know, it means a lot, because having a bike that it is gonna help you achieve these things, right? So I am going to do a review of my personal experience. I am gonna talk about what it has been, and like I said, I haven't had bad experience with this bike at all. So yeah, so all I can say, guys, is yeah, really good. So to wrap up, thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you can, and push that notification button on as well for more videos. I will be doing some more videos about my Ride London race, and I will be doing a video also about my Tour Cambridgeshire race, Grand Fund race that I done where I came third. Hooray! Yes, so hopefully we catch up soon. Thank you so much.